What's up, everybody? DRD here, and welcome to episode 2 of my 500 or less series. If you missed the first episode, I'll have a link in the description to the playlist for this series. But for a quick synopsis, this series is basically just me creating teams of players that I purchased for 500 coins or less. I'll play 4 to 5 games with them and record my progress and bring you guys the results. So here we go. We're on episode 2. Now I'm sure you guys haven't really been listening to what I've said, and instead have been giggling or mocking my team, and that's completely fine with me, because when you see the highlights for this team, you'll probably rewind the video to hear if I've said anything that's important or meaningful. But anyway, I played 4 games with this team, recorded 10 goals in those 4 games, and I won every single game. And I'll be sure to put my opponent's squad up before each game's highlights, that I wasn't playing like a bronze team, the bronze tourney, or something ridiculous like that. There are maybe 2 teams that aren't great chemistry-wise, but I'm pretty sure every team I played was a full gold team, and most of those teams had some really decent players in them. So enough of my bandering on and on about how good this team was, because it was surprisingly awesome, even to me. But yeah, I'll go ahead and put up the highlights of those 4 matches. Now, in the first match, as you can see, I came across a pretty damn decent Premier League side. Van Persie, Nani, and Ben Arfa up top, with Nasri, Silva, and Juan Mata in the midfield. And when I first saw this team, I thought, it's over before this game even begins. And I'd just like to point out real quick that I did not play a, quote, practice game with this team. This game here was the first game that I played with this K-League squad. So, I didn't have the chance to work out the chemistry with this team and see how they play or anything like that. But my first chance came in the 11th minute here with Damjanovic putting the ball, smashing it on the crossbar, only for it to bounce back out. But then here on this corner, oh man, a beautiful effort here by Lee Kyung-rul with the bicycle kick that's unfortunately blocked by Pepe Reina. But as Reina gets back up, he punches it back into the net. It's not the best of bragging goals, but it's put me back level, and that's important, especially with the team that I'm playing here. But in the 86th minute, he concedes a silly penalty for me, which I'm easily going to slot home there with Kim Jong-woo. It's an even more great opportunity for me to go ahead. And then in the 90th minute, he'd gotten sloppy. He'd pulled his keeper, pulled Reina out, and I just put a near 50-yard shot on with my Montenegro striker, Damjanovic. And with that, the game will end 3-1, which is an impressive first game with this K-League team. Now, in Game 2 with my squad, I came across a team with decent players, but unfortunately the chemistry just wasn't right for him. So even though he had a decent team, he was doomed in the beginning because of his poor chemistry up top. But here in the 30th minute, I pull ahead 1-0 with a cheeky chip from Dejan, which gave me a good deal of confidence in this match. And even though I know his team isn't fantastic, it still felt good to be ahead on him 1-0 with a team that I'm playing with, 60 and 70 rated players. But now shortly after, I utilized the triple X tap method to get the fast cross in front of goal, and it's just deadly in that area. It gets an unlucky deflection from the keeper, and Kim Dong-chan got the chance to put an easy header into the back of the net. And shortly after halftime here in the 53rd minute, this guy goes on an all-out siege on my goal, and I'm still unsure how my 60-rated keeper managed this, but just watch the stops he makes in this attack. 1, 2 stops, 3 stops, and finally out for a good deflection out for a corner. And following that effort by the keeper, I have an amazing goal line clearance off his corner. Boom, get that out of here. Now, I wasn't quite sure why this guy decided to play the rest of the first half and then the first 10 minutes of the second, but unfortunately he decided to quit in the beginning of the 55th minute, and I got the goal line clearance achievement. But it's a great game for me and one for the books with a 2-0 win. Now, the third game was a little less of a big victory with this team. We came up against a very strong German/Bundesliga squad featuring Marco Reus and Podolski up top, with Gutze at attacking mid, as well as Dante, Mats Hummels, and Felipe Santana as strong backs in front of Manuel Neuer. Now again, like the first game, I immediately thought this would be a tough game and possibly yielding my first loss of this team's campaign, but fortunately here in the 27th minute, Reina on the left side uses quite a bit of skill to get around 2 defenders and puts a shot on goal that's deflected by the defender right to Kim Dong-chan, who slams it home with ease. And after he put back a penalty kick from a silly foul by me in the box, I came back in the 55th with a nice bit of footwork from the captain, Dejan, who follows through and smashes the ball near post past Neuer. An exciting goal and a great time to get the lead back. Now look at this cutback. and then beats the defender back to the ball and gets his foot on it. Now the rest of the game is a bit of a stalemate, and the game will finish with a victory at 2-1. The fourth and final game I played with this team was one game into the gold tournament, because when I won the third game, it let me stay in Division 1. So as you can see, this guy's a decent team with Defoe, Balotelli, and Mikkeli up top, but no one else too notable in the midfield or back line. But our captain here gets the scoring on the road with a nice bit of dribbling in the box to allow him to get inside and slot home a sweet finesse shot into the side netting in the 28th minute. Now, Damjanovic only has 75 curve, but with 84 finishing, he's gonna be sure the ball is on target. Now we are in a corner midway through the second half here, and as it comes in, the defensive mid leaps over his marker and dinks it right over the keeper. It clips the crossbar and drops into the goal beautifully. One of my favorite goals scored by this team without a doubt. But here in the 90th minute, a beautiful ball through over the box by Daehan to Lee Sang-ho, who heads it perfectly to the far side of the net to absolutely make this game a done deal. So with that goal, that brings his team to a 4-0 record, all 4 victories from the 4 games played, and a very satisfied DRD with this squad built. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of 500 or less. If you did, leave a like, leave a team suggestion in the comments below, and subscribe if you haven't already. But with that, I'll end it, and I will catch you cats in the flip-flop later.